I've been doing real estate for the past 10 years now, and I have literally talked to hundreds of families at various income and life stages about moving to different parts around Southern California. A recent article from the Orange County Register identified the average rents of 21 of Southern California's largest cities and ranks them from the highest rents to cities with the steepest rent increases to cities with the biggest price drops. Now, a lot of what I see in this article actually correlates with what clients have been telling me for years. The good part is cities and counties can no longer sit on their titles and just assume people want to live there and give them their business. And today, I'm going to be talking about the findings in this article and my opinions on them based on the trends I'm seeing with the people I've worked with. Keep in mind, these opinions and a lot of what I'm saying are just what I'm hearing from people that I've worked with. If you have first-hand knowledge that doesn't match what I say, feel free to comment down below if you disagree, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. What's up everyone, local realtor Kevin Kuo here. Welcome to my channel where we talk about home ownership around Pasadena, California and the greater Los Angeles area. If you have goals of buying, selling, or renting anywhere in the Los Angeles area, leave me a message down below and my partners and I would love to help you achieve your real estate goals. The big picture is that despite what the media is saying about people exiting California, rents across Southern California are still going up. In the last 12 months, we've seen a 16% jump in average rental price. The current average rent price is about $2,067. That's up $284 higher than the same time last year. Now, starting off with the cities with the highest average rents in Southern California are going to be in Irvine and Temecula. To me, this isn't surprising at all. You can usually tell where the real estate will blow up by looking at where the high-paying salaries are and where the rich foreigners are investing. When I moved here in the 1990s, places in San Gabriel Valley like San Marino, La Cañada, Arcadia was where all the wealthy foreigners were buying. However, these cities don't have big downtown centers, and unless you're working in a medical field, you'll have to commute to places like downtown LA, Pasadena, or Glendale for higher paying jobs. Since the 2000s though, the trend has been shifting to Orange County, where places like Irvine welcomed a lot of new tech companies and new tract home developments. And because of the combination of high-paying jobs, great weather, newer roads and infrastructure, and lots of good schools, now places like Irvine and Newport Beach are where the new foreign money is going. The median home price in Irvine right now is about $1.4 million, about the same as Arcadia now. And Irvine, along with other cities in Orange County like Santa Ana and Fullerton, has also seen some of the highest spikes in rent in the last 12 months. And you can attribute these higher rents in Orange County to correlate with high wages and low unemployment. The largest monthly increases come from areas in Riverside County, including Corona, Moreno Valley, and Temecula. This is a real testament that Riverside County has been winning over a lot of people from Los Angeles and Orange County. Places like Temecula and Murrieta have always been nice places to retire, get married, or go for a weekend getaway. There are lots of larger subdivisions, wineries, resorts, and places to go for vacation. Even now, with a median home purchase price of about $747,000, it's still more affordable to buy there compared to many of the suburbs around Irvine. Temecula is about an hour away from Orange County's metro centers like Irvine and Santa Ana, which prior to the pandemic discouraged many people from moving there. However, the cost of housing around Orange County's metro areas have spiked in the last decade, making it more competitive and less affordable for people to buy a home. During the pandemic, a lot of companies allowed people to work remotely or work hybrid schedules. So many remote workers who wanted to buy a home but couldn't afford the Orange County suburbs basically decided to relocate to places like Temecula and Murrieta, where the homes were more affordable, thus driving up its rents. The same thing is happening with people living around where I live in the Pasadena area. Currently, cities with the lowest annualized 5-year rent inflation include Los Angeles, Burbank, and Glendale. It used to be that people with high-paying jobs had to live in San Gabriel Valley and commute to these metropolitan centers. Not particularly because they loved the location, it was just because of the sake of convenience commuting to work. However, since the pandemic, I've heard so many stories of people with work from home jobs who use their savings to move east to Corona and Moreno Valley and other parts of Riverside County because they get more for their dollar there. The homes there tend to be newer and on larger lots. For the price of a 3-bedroom, 1,500 square foot, 1960s built home in Pasadena, you can buy a 5-bedroom, 3,000 square foot house built in the 2000s in some of these areas. The weather there is warmer, but if you don't appreciate exercising outside and you tend to stay indoors all the time, you'll definitely appreciate having more living space. Places in Corona and Moreno Valley also have newer roads and infrastructure, and the cost of living is lower as well. The places with the lowest rents are currently in the cities of Long Beach, City of Los Angeles, and Pomona. These places have traditionally been the punching bag of the real estate community, but in the last decade, there has been lots of gentrification happening in these areas. Because in the past, interest rates have been so low and market prices have done nothing but go up in the last decade, around these towns, there are a lot of forced appreciation going on. Forced appreciation is what we call it when investors force the home prices of a neighborhood to go up by fixing up and reselling homes and driving up the market value. It's not done so much by large-scale residential developers. It's usually too much work for a large company to flip individual homes one at a time. Instead, in the past decade, many small mom-and-pop investors have poured money flipping houses into these communities. I actually sold a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house for an investor last year in Los Angeles. The house was flipped really nicely, and there were actually quite a few other flips happening on that same block. Now, there are actually areas where rent prices have actually gone down. West Covina, Costa Mesa, and Burbank all saw rent prices go down, not by much, but very slightly. I'm guessing the dip in rental price is caused by longtime residents moving away because they can no longer keep up with rising housing prices. In the past decade, cities like West Covina, Costa Mesa may have enjoyed appreciation from higher income professionals wanting to be near more expensive neighboring cities like Newport Beach or Arcadia, and the metropolitan cities like Burbank enjoyed appreciation simply because those areas have a lot of high-paying jobs in that location. The upside for existing residents is that their property value goes up. The downside is that it becomes more and more expensive to live in these areas as well. You have to take note that just because people moving into a city have high income doesn't mean that the people who currently live or grew up in these areas have the same type of income. For example, I grew up in Arcadia, and a lot of people that I grew up with went through the Arcadia school system, got normal jobs out of college, maybe with a combined household income of 120 to 150,000 range, and want to move back to be closer to family. However, ever since the 2000s to now, the median home price in Arcadia basically tripled from 450,000 to 1.4 million. At those home prices, they get priced out, and they can no longer afford to buy in Arcadia anymore, so they buy in nearby less expensive cities like West Covina, Monrovia, and Temple City. I have clients who grew up in Burbank who actually got a job and work in Burbank, but decide to move to neighboring cities like North Hollywood or 30 minutes north to Santa Clarita for that same reason. This drives up real estate for the families who once lived in these cities, and now they may feel that it's too expensive, so they move somewhere else less expensive, further perpetuating the cycle. The good part is, with the advent of work from home jobs, you can now relocate to any city you want. And because people have the freedom to relocate, cities and counties can no longer sit on their titles and just assume people want to live there and give them their business. Cities will have to offer attractive living environments, schools, business opportunities, or affordable cost of living or housing to attract residents to move there or get left behind. So I'm curious to know, what do you think about what's going on with rents around Southern California? If you're planning to move here, where would you go? If you'd like some help realizing your real estate goals here, leave me a message down below and my partners and I would love to help. Check out my other videos about living around Pasadena and the greater Los Angeles area on my channel, and subscribe to get updates on all new videos every time one comes out. Until next time, goodbye.